Hello everyone, I'm Liliana with the CoCrafting Studio Seasonal Wreaths and Holiday Decor, and I am here today because I wanted to answer a few questions for you in regards to CoCrafting Studio. So as usual, before I get started, let me make sure I can see everyone's comments in case anybody comes on. Happy Memorial Day weekend. I know it's a crazy weekend, even though it hasn't really felt like it for me, I'm not gonna lie. It's been lazy. It's been Happy Memorial Day weekend. Today was raining, thunderstorms all morning, so we really didn't do much, and now it sounds like beautiful, and I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything now. It's like, all right, time to clean. So, okay, so in case anybody comes on, but anywho, point is, the reason that I'm here is because, as usual, I have all these crazy ideas, and people want to know, what exactly is it that you're thinking about? What are your intentions here? Okay, so CoCrafting Studio. As you know, I launched this about a week ago. I have had a few free sessions, but I've been asked, what exactly is it? Multiple people have asked me. So CoCrafting Studio, being that, and I like to explain, being that I have been part of corporate America for many, many years, and I got to see a lot of different ways of working in the financial world, and not just the financial world, like just different ways of working. So being that I was a corporate trainer and I got to travel to different branches, I also got to train a whole team online, virtually, in India. That's how my virtual events came about. So, hi Sue, how are you? Yay, I got somebody here with me, even if it's just for a little bit. Because it's Memorial Day weekend. I think people like, you know, hanging out. And I'm here, because it's a rainy day, not a lot happening. So, thanks for being here with me. So anyway, so going back to like the reason I come up with these crazy ideas is because I've done a lot of these things, and I'm trying to like apply them to the crafting world. So like I said, I was a trainer in corporate America, in the financial world. I got to go to different branches and train them. I got to train a whole team before Skype and before Zoom. I trained the whole team offshore in India. Like it's crazy. Like I got to do, so then I'm trying to bring all this stuff to the crafting side, because remember my crafting side actually came before my financial side. The financial side was more of a, I like to say, marrying my creative side, because it was kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie. So anywho, so what exactly is CoCrafting Studio? Maybe many of you have heard of co-working spaces. So I'm from Jersey, right outside of New York City, and any major cities, really, a lot of places now, they have co-working locations. So these co-working locations existed before COVID, of course. And what would happen is, if you're a business person, you have your own, let's say your own business, or even if you work from home, it's hard to focus when you're home. So what a lot of these people do is that they pay for a space to go into these offices. So you're going to this location just to work. Same reason that people go to Starbucks, people go to different locations to work, different coffee shops, different locations. We see them in the park. It's just to get out of the house and focus, right? However, we're crafters. It's hard for me to pack up my wreath supplies. I mean, you know, like I'm not gonna grab like a whole kit. Like think of me like trying to make this thing back here. How am I gonna pack that and go to a coffee shop? It's not that easy, right? So even though bringing it back a little bit again, when COVID happened, a lot of these places weren't still available for people to go out to do co-working. So virtual co-working spaces came about. So if you look it up, I don't want to say names, but if you look up, go online and look up co-working, virtual co-working, these places exist. So what happens is you log on, you pay a membership, and you log on and you say, they pair you up with someone. It's only like 2 people, and sometimes you do have meeting and team rooms, or you could actually rent out virtual co-working spaces. It's crazy for your team. So you could have like, oh, virtual meeting room, like Zoom rooms, but it's like a meeting room. So anywho, so you go into this, you have your, today I'm gonna work, let's say today my workspace, I'm working from like 1 to 3 today. I go into this virtual space and I get connected with someone. I don't know who it is, but I'm connected with, let's say, Bob, and I go in, I'm like, hi, I'm Liliana, and I'm gonna be working on, I need to write 4 chapters for my book, for example. today. I'm working on 4 chapters. Oh, I'm going to be here for 2 hours. Oh, what are you working on? Oh, I'm working on some accounting for my business. Oh, okay, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. We go on mute and we're working. It's the same thing like when you're in college or when you're with a friend. My friends and I used to come together just to do schoolwork. We used to actually hang out doing schoolwork. There was a time too where my friend and myself and my friend both worked remotely, and we used to come together. Like we used to go to her house or my house and we used to just work. We would be ignoring each other, but it's just the fact that we were there to work. So it's the same exact thing. It exists virtually now. You don't know who you're meeting with, but it's something that it's for accountability, and you have your dedicated time. Because I know that if I have a dedicated time and I know, hey, oh my God, I'm paying for this, I need to be there from this time to that time, I'm going to do it. It's not going to be where my friends constantly say, hey, what are you doing right now? You want to go have some coffee? Hey, you want to go have lunch? And of course, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. Well, especially with our craft businesses, right? We do it too much. We do it way too much. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll go meet you. What do you want to do? What do you want to meet? Oh yeah, it's quick lunch, it's fine. And by the time that you're there, it's only going to be an hour, let's say. And next thing you know, you're there for 2 hours and oh my God, we got to go pick up our kids from school. Or the reverse. Like I said, I was a 9-to-5er. I worked in corporate America. The only reason that I left corporate America was because I had my daughter and the traveling became too much for me. The meetings, the events, the networking events became too much. So then I started to work part-time, still in corporate America, but part-time versus a full-time. It's still the same thing. You still need to schedule your time. So now I'm bringing that time, that premise or that idea to the crafting world, because I realized that my crafting side is a little bit more disorganized than my corporate side. Why? Because when I worked in corporate America, I had meetings. I knew that every Monday at 8 a.m. had to be in weekly meetings. I knew that Thursday once a month I had a 6 to 7 hour meeting. I knew that twice a year we were traveling to go to yearly meetings or annual planning meetings. These are all things that are scheduled. Why don't we do that with our crafting business? We don't. I'm sorry, but we don't. And when I used to schedule my time a year ago, I stopped for different reasons, but I knew that every Thursday and Friday or Friday and Saturday, I was here live with you. Remember? I was here live at 10 o'clock. I stopped doing it, and it's been hard because my daughter's a little bit older. It's been harder to get on. So that's why I decided to come up with this idea of co-crafting. So co-crafting is co-working, but for crafters. Same exact idea. The reason I started it, like I said, is because we need accountability. A lot of people, especially the crafters, especially my crafting side, I say this because I'm speaking for myself. I don't have my manager waiting for me that, you know, I need to submit my numbers at the end of the week. No, it's different. So you need to have your own accountability, right? So that's why people use co-working spaces. Same thing with co-crafting. So that is what CoCrafting Studio is. So how many times a week? This is because we're just starting it off, CoCrafting Studio. I wanted to make it twice per week from 11 to 1, and I said Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that's why, that's why I had a few days where last week where I scheduled a few days. There's going to be another 2 free days. There's one day left, and then I'm going to add a bonus day. So it's just for you to see exactly what it is. So twice per week, really 3 days per week, because I know, like I also worked full-time, and I used to get home after 5, make dinner, and that's really the crafting time. And that's why I come online to work with you after 10 o'clock. It's after my day ends. The schoolwork, all that stuff is my work, because really I do have, I still work. That's really when my crafting time starts, but again, it needs to be scheduled. So that's why I wanted to add a crafting time at night as well, or maybe a weekend time as well for those of us. But to start, I said Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 1 to help with the crafting things. Do you get to pick who you meet with? That's another question. No, at the beginning, not. Usually it's 2 people. When you go into virtual co-working spaces, it's 2 people. You go in there, you click, and you automatically assign to someone. Like I said, you go into the room with this person. It's not really a socializing space. That's why I kind of added like rules and like kind of regulations, because we want to socialize, and I get it, but you don't know if the person that you're going to be paired up with on that day wants to socialize or is ready to socialize. So you got to be a little bit mindful of that. Maybe they do, and then maybe you would find a friend here and it's awesome, but you don't, you know, we all have, we could read off of each other's vibes. The person seems like they don't want to speak or chat, then but we're crafters. I have a feeling it's going to be different. That's why I specifically made this for crafters, because there are co-working spaces out there. They exist, but they're not really for crafters. Physical co-working space, but now because of COVID, they have virtual co-working spaces. But I figured let's make a virtual co-working space for crafters, because we kind of want to talk to each other a little bit more. We might want to be able to ask the person that's there with us, like, hey, what do you think about this color and that color? But again, we need to be respectful. We need to be mindful of each other's time, because some people say, hey, I got these 2 hours. Like I said, for now it's only 2 hours. I have these 2 hours. I'm here to work. And that's why I schedule those 2 hours. We're trying to dedicate that time. If you schedule the time, if it's on your calendar, you're going to do it. I say it because my previous experience, my crafting experience with my business, it's a little bit different. But again, it's because it's me. It's my business. I have kids. How many times haven't I been live with you? My daughter comes down, or my son comes down because his iPad time expired and it's Friday, and he's like, "Mommy, can you turn on?" You know, and then they want something to eat. That's the difference when you have the scheduled time. And when they come down here, all the time, like, "Oh, I turn it on for you. Bye. I want to eat. Too bad." But if I don't have that, if I don't have you guys here with me, I'm gonna step away and make them something to eat, right? By the time I get back down here, it's different. They're not going to starve. I'm sorry to say this. They're not going to starve. My kids are 5 and 10. They're not going to starve. They're fine. They're fine. But because they see that mommy's busy, they want to come and start asking for things, right? So that's why if you know that you have an accountability space where someone is there with you, it's going to be harder for you to walk away and be like, oh, they want ice cream. Now I tell them, go get it yourself. Do you know where it is? But if I didn't have somebody here, I'll be like, all right, and I'll go get it for them. That's the reason behind the co-working space. So I know there's a few other questions. If you have any questions that you're thinking about, just post them in here. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. The website is still eventcraftstudio.com. However, it's like /CoCrafting Studio. But if you go to eventcraftstudio.com, you'll see CoCrafting Studio. I just didn't want to start a whole new website. I just made a page within there with its own subscription site. So if you're someone that follows me through Eventcraft Studio, you're not automatically signed up for CoCrafting Studio. It's a whole separate subscription, because here we're sending dates and times and scheduling ideas. It's a whole completely different focus than Eventcraft Studio. So yeah, so that's it. Maybe perhaps in the beginning we're gonna have more than one person together just while we get the vibes going. Well, maybe spend a few minutes before we get working. But this is just, like I said, it's me introducing you to the idea, to the concept of co-working, because us crafters, we don't do it. I'm here. I feel like I was put on this planet to take my corporate things that I've learned and apply them to the crafting world. And mind you, I came from the design world. My design stuff, that's my background. And then life happened. I moved into financial corporate America, and I feel like that needed to happen for me because I was kind of disorganized, and I could easily get disorganized. You know, we see a pretty color and it's like, oh, same thing, like, you know, you're working on an idea, you go into the craft store, you want to work on one wreath, and as you're walking through there, you see something else and it's like, oh, that's a pretty flower, I could work on something else, and all of a sudden the whole idea that you had just forget about it, right? I get it, that's me. I'm a creative first, however, I'm analytical as well. So that's why I feel like I was here to marry them and bring that here for you and help you, because really that's what it's about. I noticed that a lot of us need it. A lot of us need it. And a few people that I know that are creatives. I have a jewelry maker, a friend that already said, this is awesome, I need this. And I have another friend that'll be awesome if she could come on here and talk to you. She makes decor, like accents for handbags. She's amazing. She also said, this is awesome, I need it. So it's something that it's a need, and I say it because I'm speaking from my own personal experience. I'm not saying like, oh, crafters are disorganized. I'm disorganized. That's why I miss corporate America. That's why I miss my Zoom meetings. That's why any of my friends that are on here watching this know that I schedule Zoom calls with us all the time. Why? Because it gives me structure. I have something on my calendar. I feel like I'm accomplishing things. So that's why I do. That's why I schedule meetings. I'm not trying to say for my friends I'm using you, but you know, you feel like, all right, okay, time's up, buddy. We gotta go. I gotta go pick up my kids. So I like having things on a calendar. I like to feel like I actually got things done. So anywho, so that's what CoCrafting Studio is about. It's co-working, virtual co-working for crafters. So that's it. And hope to see you there. sign up on my website. If you go to eventcraftstudio.com, there is a space for CoCrafting Studio. Remember, it's two separate spaces. If you subscribe on anywhere on eventcraftstudio.com, you have the option to subscribe to either one because it's two different mailing lists. And that's about it. So thank you so much.